What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at a new piece of gear I acquired a couple weeks ago. We're just now kind of getting back to usual around here. We had a hurricane second week of July. Power was out, internet's out, everything's just in shambles. But thankfully the house didn't take any damage, so that's good. But so we're a little behind here. We're getting caught up. Right before that had happened, I acquired this piece of gear right here that I'm very excited about. It's the EVH 5153 EL34 model, 50 watt head. As of July 24, I believe these are retailing for around $1,450 at most of your fine music stores. I, however, did not pay that. There goes my dog. She's talking to y'all. I had if you've been watching my other videos, you might have noticed in the back corner I had a Marshall 100 watt head sitting back here. It was a DSL model. Guitar buddy of mine. He's somebody I know him. We know who each other are, but we don't know each other that well, but we know who each other is type deal. He was playing in a Leonard Skinner tribute band. He wanted a more classic rock sound. He had this. I had that. We made a swap. I gave him a little bit of money, not too much, because this amp's worth more money, so it's only fair. But I felt like it was a good deal when I walked out of it. It was a good deal. Felt good. So cool. But he didn't use it very much. The Footswitch, the cabling and everything was still bound by the twist ties, just like it comes when it ships new. So I know he didn't use it very much. So my amp, however, had a lot of hours on it. But you know, those old Marshalls are workhorses. He's like I said, he did good on his deal too. We both got what we wanted. But basically, the amp's pretty straightforward. You know, you got 3 channels: green, blue, and red. Blue is green is bleh. Green is clean. Blue is dirty, but not as dirty as the red. The red is super high gain, choke you by the throat type gain. The blue and the green channel are controlled by the same EQ and volume and gain. So the volume and gain have stacked knobs. So the knob on the inside controls the green channel. The knob on top controls the blue channel. And then the red channel has its own section altogether. And then you got a presence on the far right that controls everything. It goes across all of them. And there's a resonance on the back that also, again, controls all the channels. So if you need to change your resonance, just reach over there and dial it till you get it to where you like it. The back of the amp's pretty straightforward. You know, plug your power cord in there. You got your effects loop, MIDI port. You got a power amp out, I believe, and the effects loop, speakers, outs. It's got an impedance switch on there. You can go 4, 8, or 16 ohms. So you just want to make sure your speaker cabinet, make sure you know what your ohms are, and then select the right switch, or put the switch on the right mark. Right now I'm running it through the Hughes & Kettner 212. I also have the Marshall cabinet down below, the 1960A. I've run it through both. It sounds good in both of them. So my plan is, if I'm playing on a big stage with a lot of room and I'm going to be out in front of it and I can really need to fill a room, and take the 412. For smaller clubs, places where they just shove you in a corner and expect you to play, I'll take the 212 just to save some space. And yeah, it sounds good. Now right now it's running through nothing but, there's no effects running through it whatsoever. Simple, just straight into the amp. I do have my drop pedal plugged in, but it's not engaged right now. It also comes with this big old Footswitch here. So you got your green, blue, red, and this is for your effects loop. And it comes with a very long cord. I didn't measure it, but this cord is pretty long. So, oh yeah, you got a Footswitch port in the back as well. So anyway, it's a great amp. I'm very pleased with the deal I made. And it sounds great, and it's loud. This thing is super loud. If you're playing inside your house and you have neighbors, you're not going to go above 1 ever, because the cops will show up. Here's my dog. If you playing here in the house, you got people in here, you're going to keep it on less than half of one. Especially on the red channel. Like right now it's on about a half. So, but I put it on, I cranked it up to about 2 one day. And I mean, you can feel it thumping you in the chest. So this thing is powerful. It's more power than you'd ever need. So anyway, just checking it out here. Right now we're on the green channel. I mean, that's clean. That's about as clean as you could want it, really. The blue channel, like I said, got a nice little crunch. I've got the gain on this channel. That's one thing about it. When you're on the blue channel, you're going to crank the gain higher. Right now it's at about 3 o'clock, so it's got a lot of the gain going through it right now. Honestly, I probably won't use that channel very often. I'm probably going to be either green or red for the most part. Which, you can hear it, if you hear it hissing now. Name that tune. Again, I can't give you anything, but my son loves that band, so I hear that riff all the time. It's got a little bit of a hiss. I mean, it's not as bad. I used to have the 5150 original combo amp, 212. That thing hissed like a snake. I mean, I had to put noise gate on it and all that. This one's not quite. This one doesn't hiss like that. Of course, it's not up very loud right now either, but even when you turn it up, you're right. I mean, that's on, it's on like 1. But it does have a little bit of a hiss to it when you're driving it that hard. But like I said, not as bad as they used to. So my plan is to, I was looking at either getting a set of stomp boxes, but I've got the Boss GX100. I'm thinking about trying to use it, incorporating it with this, and not using any of the amp models or anything, but just use the effects, use the chorus, use the delay, use the noise suppressor, you know, stuff like that. So I'm gonna start running that through it and tinkering with it a little bit, and I'll make another video to show you how it came out. I'm hoping that I've never used that box for that. I've always used it for my overall tone. You know, I've used the distortion and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm gonna, I like the distortion this amp gets. I want to use this. I don't want an amp modeler. I don't want, you know, and it doesn't need an overdrive. I mean, this thing is, right now the gain's on about 10 o'clock. I mean, you just don't need any more gain than that. So, I noticed one thing when me and my son messing around with it, that when you switch cabinets, you got to adjust the EQ a little bit. It's a little bit, you know, it's got its own little nuance, but for the most part, it sounds great through either cabinet. So, So any gig I would normally take the combo amp to, I'll just take the 212 with me probably. But I don't want to give up on my Iconic. It's still a good amp. I mean, this is the top dog right here as far as it's 5153, the real deal. So I'm very excited to have it. I'm hoping to do some shows with it pretty soon. Got one coming. I'm doing a fill-in gig in August, so I'll probably take it to that and see how it goes. Like I said, though, in the meantime, I'm gonna mess with it. I'm gonna mess with it with the Boss pedal board, because I don't want to buy a bunch of effects. Because my other amp that I use for shows is the I need to do a video on that amp too. I haven't done one, but it's the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 4 amp, and it's got built-in effects, so I haven't needed to buy a bunch of stomp boxes. Before that, I was running the Boss GT100 through the Marshall. Didn't need stomp boxes, so I'm hoping I can get away with not buying stomp boxes. That's just more stuff to buy. But I'm pretty sure I can get it to work. But definitely gonna need a noise gate when you crank it up. But like I said, when I cranked it up at the house, it was on the weekend, so I can get away with a little extra on those days. And it was loud. It didn't hiss horribly. I mean, it wasn't, you know, I've heard worse. I've heard worse. But that's just the amp. There's no effects going through. It's just the room mic picking it up. Name that tune. Actually, those were two different songs. But it just has such a warm sound. It just, and even I noticed when playing songs like the first one was Live Wire by Motley Crue, now I can't do it. It just was easier to play. Like the drive just blended together much easier. There was no, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but I've played it on other amps and it felt like at first when I was first learning this, I was doing something wrong. But this, I don't know how to describe it, but it sounds better on this amp. So anyway, that's it. That's the 5153 EL34. Check your thoughts and comments out there. Think about, there is a 6L6 model of this amp. People have their preferences. This one sounds really good. I don't think you're going to go wrong with either one, but I'm enjoying this one. It's going to get a big workout. Another thing the guy had that was extra, he had the cover, so something else I didn't have to buy. So it's great. So anyway, check it out. If you get a chance to get your hands on one, I would highly suggest you do it. Peace.